Welcome to Sheikh Hamdan's official channel, the realm where silence holds secrets, and the truth arrives not with thunder, but with grace. Today, the winds of Dubai whisper of a choice that changed everything, Sheikh Hamdan's decision that shocked the entire royal family. It was not a decision of power or wealth, but of the heart, a decision that shattered expectations, defied traditions, and painted his destiny with colors no one saw coming. The palace walls had never known such quiet. Courtiers moved cautiously, whispers weaving through golden corridors like unseen ghosts. Every eye turned toward the man they thought they knew, the prince of poetry, the face of nobility, the symbol of calm authority. Yet that day, Sheikh Hamdan stood as something far beyond a title. He stood as a man who had finally chosen truth over image, purpose over protocol. It began with a letter, not a royal decree, but a handwritten confession sealed with his personal mark. The message within it rippled through the royal halls like an earthquake in silence. He had made a decision no one dared to imagine, to walk away from something the family had long planned, something bound by legacy, by lineage, by the expectations of generations. It was not rebellion, it was revelation. They had expected obedience, he offered honesty. They had written his future, he rewrote it in his own ink. Every tradition trembled under the weight of his choice. Some called it reckless, others called it brave. But Sheikh Hamdan called it necessary, for a life led by duty without soul is not life, but performance. He refused to live merely as a reflection of his title, he wanted to live as the truth of his being. In the grand majlis, under chandeliers heavy with history, he faced the elders of his lineage. The air was thick with disbelief. One elder asked, "Do you realize what you're doing?" His voice, calm yet unyielding, answered, "For once, I do." The silence that followed was louder than thunder. The prince had spoken like a poet who had finally found the courage to live his own verse. The decision was personal, but its impact was universal. It wasn't just about family, but freedom. About choosing meaning over material, love over legacy, humanity over hierarchy. In a world that expected him to conform, he chose to transform. And though his decision stunned the royal family, it awakened something dormant in everyone who heard of it, a reminder that even within the crown lies a beating, independent heart. Rumors spread through Dubai like fire through silk. Some said he renounced a royal marriage, others whispered of a vow he broke, or a throne he refused. But none knew the truth in full, for the prince protected his choice with silence, letting only his actions speak. What was known for certain was this: Sheikh Hamdan had stepped beyond the invisible line that separates princes from poets, duty from destiny. The reaction within the royal circles was immediate. Some hearts broke, others hardened. Yet amid the storm, he remained still, not out of defiance, but clarity. His serenity confused those who mistook silence for surrender. They could not understand that his strength was not in resistance, but in release. To let go of what the world built for you, and build your own path instead, that is the rarest form of power. In the nights that followed, the city of Dubai seemed to pulse differently. Those who admired him saw not a scandal, but a sign, a man reminding the world that courage doesn't always roar, sometimes, it simply refuses to kneel. His decision was not against his family, but for himself, and in that quiet rebellion, he honored them more than obedience ever could. Behind closed doors, some tried to persuade him to reconsider. They spoke of legacy, of reputation, of duty owed to the crown. He listened respectfully, his eyes holding both gratitude and grief. But his heart had already crossed a bridge that words could not rebuild. The decision was not made from impulse, it was born of years of internal war, fought between what he was expected to be and who he truly was. When dawn arrived over the desert, Sheikh Hamdan rode alone across the sands, no guards, no entourage, just the vast horizon before him. It was said that he whispered something to the wind that morning, "Let them misunderstand me today, for tomorrow they will see." His solitude that day was not escape, it was transformation. In the days that followed his decision, the palace felt the weight of his absence like a missing heartbeat. Every corridor echoed with a silence that once held his laughter, every sunset seemed to search for his silhouette along the horizon. The royal family struggled to understand how a man born into perfection could walk away from everything most men spend lifetimes dreaming of. But Sheikh Hamdan had not abandoned his crown, he had simply chosen to wear it differently. His throne was no longer gilded in gold, but in purpose. His kingdom had become the world beyond the palace walls, the hearts he touched, the lives he uplifted, the truths he lived. He began to move through life with a quiet grace, no longer confined by royal protocol but guided by the voice of his own soul. People saw him differently now, not as a prince distant in grandeur, but as a man of flesh and faith, a poet who dared to live the words he once only wrote. The decision that once shocked became the seed of a movement. Young hearts began to whisper his name not with curiosity, but with reverence. His courage to choose authenticity over approval became their anthem, a symbol that no title, no dynasty, and no destiny can silence the truth within a man's heart. In private moments, the elders of the royal family began to understand what once bewildered them. They saw that his choice was not rebellion, but refinement, an act of spiritual nobility. His departure from tradition had not diminished the family's honor, it had deepened it. For what is royalty if not the ability to stand by principle, even when the world misunderstands? Sheikh Hamdan's decision reminded them that legacy is not built by obedience alone, it is shaped by courage, by conviction, and by the rare willingness to disappoint the world in order to remain loyal to one's own soul. And though time softened the shock, the story never lost its power. Every time he appeared in public, whether riding through the desert or speaking to a crowd, there was a new depth in his presence, a calm that came from knowing he had faced his truth and survived its cost. The very eyes that once judged him now sought his wisdom. They began to see what he had seen all along, that freedom is not defiance, but devotion to truth, that leadership is not control, but compassion born from self-awareness. He had turned shock into inspiration, and the wound into a